Welcome to the Oh Hell Yeah podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Oh Hell Yeah. I'm Eddie Delaseppe.
And I'm Brent Flyberg.
We're here, we're peers.
Get used to it.
We're here in beautiful Spider House Rule Studios. And before we get into the episode, do us a favor. Subscribe to the podcast. If you're watching and it shows up on your For You page, you could support the show by hitting the subscribe button or the notification bell.
It's just one little click.
Just do that. Support the show. Leave a comment. Share with a friend. It helps the show grow. Lets other people notice the show as well. Hit the subscribe button. Boy, oh boy. I'm gonna say this off the top.
Okay.
So I had probably one of the best, dare I say, weekends of my life.
Wow.
But I'm gonna let you go first.
Okay.
Because if you go after me, you're gonna look like
I'm going to look like a damn
loser.
fool. Okay. I mean, I had an okay
all right, I'll go
weekend.
first. Shall I?
Go ahead. You seem excited.
Boom.
Wow. Look at this guy.
Got married.
Okay. And there's a lot of new hardware on that.
Yeah, I've got a new watch, a new ring. I'm full on wearing a and I got a plug inside me right now. I should probably.
No, leave it in.
All right. That's
The butt plug in
Yeah,
all
I'm
right,
squeezing
too
right
easy.
now. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Big weekend for
Big.
Eddie.
Look at this.
Yeah.
I'm a
gold
married
band.
man. I'm a married
You're
man.
fully married.
Look at it. The beautiful thing about being a married man is that, you know, if I look at another woman and she comes up to me, I'll just say to her flat out, listen, I'm married.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm
This is going to save you so much time.
I'm in love with another woman.
Because before you had to explain, like, no, I'm in a committed relationship. And they were like, yeah, I don't see any physical evidence of this commitment.
Any woman that says, were you looking at me? I can be like, I'm married.
I have a steering problem. No, it's not about you.
You were trying to ruin a marriage.
Yeah.
You're a home wrecker. You're a home wrecking hooer.
You freaking home wrecking.
Do you have
leave Eddie alone?
Do you have a beautiful face, great legs, and a fantastic rack? Yeah, but I love somebody else.
Yeah. He's taken legally, emotionally, spiritually.
She's probably doesn't listen to this podcast. Thank God.
Yeah.
She would say, we're using the gym and it's no longer a podcast studio.
And we're not married anymore.
All right. So great weekend all around.
I guess. Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to start off so I got married on Friday, legally married. Because the wedding, which is coming up. And you're coming, you're bringing your lady. I can't wait to meet her. And just give her a hug, whisper in her ear, and like, don't hurt him. Don't you dare hurt him.
You're on your tippy toes, whispering in her ear. She's kind of tall.
She's like, I'm wearing flats. I'm wearing heels. Don't
you
hurt him.
If you don't want to feel my kitten heel on your throat.
My kitten heel. I swear to God, I'll take these wedges out of my shoes and I'll fucking bitch slap you. I'll hit you like a blackjack with like as a blackjack. God, I'll jump and punch your knee. So we got married on Friday. Now, it's funny thing is about any kind of marriage or any kind of wedding, things just multiply. Things get out of hand. And here's why. We were just going to get a simple courtroom marriage before the actual marriage itself on the wedding day. Sure. Because you have to have the person who's, what's the word I'm looking for?
Officiant?
Officiant has to have a license. And it's her sister. And she's not going to go get a license, pay for this, take a test. I'm like, let's just go to a courthouse and get legally married.
Yeah.
So we go to the courthouse. We get the license like 2 weeks ago. And then we're like, all right, let's schedule a date at the courthouse. And they're like, all the dates at the good courthouses, like in Beverly Hills, all the nice spots.
They're the nice courthouses, of course.
Are all after the 11th. I was like, well, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's like, you can go to one in East LA. I'm like, no. No offense.
But
gross.
No. I'm not going to Commerce.
I'm not going to the DMV like place to get married. Anyway, so we were like, okay, let's just go to Vegas.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
A lot of money to go to Vegas, especially for a guy who's not the traditional trappings of Vegas offer nothing to you.
Yeah, I'm not looking to like kill a sex worker.
Yeah, I can't. No, I don't.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what I go there for.
I'm not here to slot shame, but
It's nice.
if you're here to play, if you're up there to gamble your life away, by all means.
It's very nice that you do use the preferred term of sex worker when you refer to murdering them. I respect your work. I just have a compulsion.
I need to see the life leave your eyes. Anyway, so Vegas was a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's like hotels, and then you get a nice dinner, and then you got flights. I was like, you're right. The trappings of Vegas don't really interest me. I'm like, I guess this is okay. And then it's going to be like a chapel thing. I'm like, that's okay, I guess. But I'm already paying for
Elvis doesn't do anything for you.
Although they are kind of fun and kitschy in their way.
Everybody likes that.
So I thought, you know what? Let's just hire an officiant and get married in a park somewhere. And then a park becomes, well, let's just do any park. Let's go to Griffith Observatory.
Walking distance from my home.
Well, it's so nice there. We might as well take pictures.
Yeah.
And if we're taking pictures, we should get dressed up.
We should get a professional photographer.
So then everything started morphing.
Yeah. So it turned into a pre-wedding wedding.
And then we invited 40 people. I'm joking. Okay. Imagine. Sorry. Yeah. What a way to find out.
It's not fine. It's just like right around the corner from where I live.
I could easily hike there. Imagine you hiked and
in my hiking boots, I show up.
But not even like you didn't know we were getting married.
Yeah, I'm just on a hike.
You're like
on mushrooms.
Eddie? Brent. This is kind of just happened. Yeah. Anyway, so we hired an officiant. Right?
How do you hire an officiant?
I think there's an app.
There's an app for that? There's like a rover for
I think it's like
weddings?
a TaskRabbit kind of thing, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
so it's like an actor.
Yeah. So I promised I would say this on the podcast, but who cares, right? She's not going to watch this.
Nobody's listening.
So tell me if I'm out of line. Okay.
Probably, but go on.
The woman, she gets on a Zoom first.
Okay.
And she's supposed to like get to know you both, talk to you, and then she's going to write out her sort of like speech spiel thing that they do as a, to make it like all like, dearly beloved, we're here together. So they customize it, which is nice. And then your vows, you do yourself. So maybe they caught me at the wrong time. I don't know. I was in a funky mood. But we get on this Zoom call, and the woman gets on the call. I'm not going to say who she was or whatever, but she was like, I think she was like she felt very like a suburban mom from like Irvine or something.
Okay.
I think she was from Irvine.
Okay.
So immediate red flag. And maybe I'm just like a stickler for like language and stuff. Our dog barks and she goes, "Oh my God, you have a furry?"
A furry?
Strike one, lady.
We already used that word for something very different.
You have a little furry with you?
Yeah, and it's me in a big wolf suit.
Some guy with a ball gag and a bear and a bear hat on. Anyway, so I'm like, yeah, we got a dog. Yeah, named Franklin. Oh, hi. Oh, I love a furry. Like, stop
saying it. Yeah,
that's a category.
That's
on
my
the hub.
son, Franklin, a canine.
Yeah. Anyhow, so she starts talking to us. And right away, I'm just kind of like, this woman's kind of weird. I was not feeling the vibe. And I was like, do I want this woman associated with one of the biggest days of my life? Mm-hmm. Like the wedding itself, obviously, all my friends are going to be there. You're going to be there. Everything's going to be there. Everyone's going to be there. But this is very intimate. If there's one person I don't like at my actual wedding, they can kind of get lost in the mix.
Yeah, but
this is like
just
three
the
people.
Three of you. Yeah.
So I'm going to look at this woman dead in the face and be like, I hate you.
Yeah.
1 out of 4 people here I hate.
Yeah.
So then she does this. Tell me if I'm on a line. And, maybe I am. But she goes, and what time? I go, Griffith Observatory, 5:00. And I quote, ooh, is there a Dodger game that night?
Okay.
And I go, why? She's like, well, it just might be hectic getting in and out of there.
Okay.
And a piece of me is kind of like, lady, I'm paying you.
Yeah.
Show the fuck up. Yeah. Show up.
Yeah. That's the job.
It's the job.
You live in Los Angeles.
I'm not saying meet me in a back alley in Crenshaw. It's where we met.
Yeah.
Marry us there. Like, either you don't know what, like, so in her mind, I said, oh yeah, there is a game. They're playing the Colorado Rockies. She's like, okay. I mean, is 3 p.m. out of the question? Bro, I lost it. At one point I said to her, I just kind of took it on the chin. I was like, listen, we picked 5 o'clock because that's when sunset happens.
Yeah.
Around then. We want photos. Are her photographer friends available at that time? It's kind of like a moment for us. I don't want, and I'm only gonna be wearing a suit. I'm gonna be blistering hot up there.
Yeah.
You kind of gotta, for $300, show up.
Yeah.
And if you get hit with some traffic, that's the price you pay for living in the burbs.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's not my problem.
Imagine we got
I'm
booked-
hiring you to be somewhere at a specific time to do a job. If you can't do it, that's one thing.
Yeah, it's one thing. That's fine. Dude, it's like if I said to you, hey man, I got a great show for you. How much? $300. What I got to do? Just be there, show up, do 40 minutes, and then get off. Great. What time? 7. Ooh. Can you do it at 5?
Yeah, can I do my set at 5?
And so I can get out of there before. Dude, I lost it. So at one point, she's like, now, Eddie, and she's writing stuff down. What is it about her that makes her special? And I'm like, well, big pause. I picked the wrong time to bring up my grievances with her. And I was like this, listen, I can't go on with this. And this is what I said. I go, I think it was kind of rude for you to demand or request that we do it earlier. It's a job. It's at 5. You want to beat traffic? This is not the job for you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's the time we want. It's a kind of a special day for me. I don't want it to be switched around for your convenience.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that I didn't mean to offend you. I mean, okay, well, you let me know if you want to keep working with me. And I'm like, imagine I was like, no, I want to hire you.
Yeah.
So she gave us our money back. I was like, ooh. And the lady was like, she was like, okay, I didn't expect you to do that. I'm like, yeah, I just rubbed
I
me the
didn't
wrong
expect
way.
you to ask me to move up the time of
I
my
wrong?
wedding
Am I
for
wr-
you.
am I
No.
wrong?
No, I don't think you're wrong. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not hearing that. I wasn't there to hear how you did this, but no, I think if you pay someone to do your wedding at 5 o'clock and it is insane to me that this person would be like, do you want to change the time for me?
Well, she didn't say it directly. She danced around it. Like, might be kind of crazy going in and out of there. Is there other times? Like,
no.
it's 5. Leave at 3. If you want to beat traffic, go get a coffee and then leave. It's like, dude, you know what it is? I was offended as a comedian. We have to, we go for free.
Yes.
We fight traffic for free.
For free.
You know how many times
Because for the love of the game, it sounds like this lady does not love officiating.
Bro, you know how many times? Yeah, she doesn't love. You know how many times me and you are like any of us have been on a freeway, bumper to bumper, on our way to a show, bumper to bumper back, and then we ask that guy to be rebooked.
Yes. Get paid no dollars. Come back groveling for more.
Anyway. So then we hired someone new. She seemed really cool. I said, 5 o'clock, Griffith Observatory. She's like, great. I'll get there early. I'll scout it out, find a good spot. Love it.
That's a professional officiant.
Kids out there, all right? I know you're a part of the Zoom generation. You want to just phone it in literally and figuratively. Show up on time. Get paid.
Get paid. Yeah, you're talking to the kids, but it sounds like this was a maybe boomer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But immature.
Immature. Don't be immature.
There you go. So.
You went full Groomzilla on her.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, Groomzilla.
Oh.
The groomster.
The groomster.
Groom Kong? King Kong?
Groom Kong, yeah.
King Grom. Anyway, so I'm on my way to Griffith Observatory to get married. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm excited.
Yeah.
The lady's excited. Our friend who's a photographer is excited. We get there, park. Kind of we get there eventually. I'm like, it's I never actually driven up there. I've only hiked up there, right?
And you're wearing the suit that you're also.
I have a suit that's like that's like my kind of like all-purpose suit that like I'll be wearing it to like
my funeral.
Your funeral. Your funeral, of course. Your funeral.
My arraignment.
Your
my
arraignment.
eventual funeral.
Also, your court date for sure.
Of course,
court
yeah.
date, then the funeral because you'll probably hurt yourself.
If I die in prison, I didn't do it.
No. Anyway, so
I don't care what anybody says. I was at those Diddy parties in a different room.
lube here.
Yeah.
Brent brought more lube.
I was just selling lube.
Add it to the wall. Anyway, so we get there. And for people who don't know, the Griffith Observatory is a beautiful place at the top of a hill in Griffith Park.
Typically pretty crowded up there.
Yeah. Didn't know why I thought it wouldn't be. But, buddy, tourists everywhere. Didn't expect it. I don't know why. I'm like, what am I, new? I've been here for over a decade. Why didn't I think this was going to be packed?
Yeah. What day of the week?
Friday night.
Friday at 5 p.m.? Yeah, you're going to run into a lot of folks out there.
I saw kids throwing a football around.
Yeah, I bet. Because I live close enough to there that I will hike up there every once in a while, and you'll see full families of tourists like in their Sunday.
Buses. Yes. There was buses. I had to find, bro. So we walked around. I'm like, oh no, there's a lot of people here.
Yeah. Influencers, there's tripods everywhere.
There's selfie sticks.
People doing like weird workouts you've never seen before.
This is a guy on a slack rope, just like balancing on a beam. There's all kinds of crazy shit going on. So right when my anxiety starts racing, because I don't want to like get married here, but also I do.
Yeah.
So then I said to it, that's it. We've all had those moments as comics where you're like, what, the mic? You don't have a mic? There's no lights? I'm just standing in the corner of a bar, but it's packed? You make it work. So I tapped into that comedy brain. I'm like, let's make it work.
Okay.
Let's make it work. She's the crowd. Focus on her. That's it. So we find a spot. No one's really around, but there are people around, just enough. And remember, it's only 3 of us. It's me, her, the photographer, 4 of us, and the officiant who we hired. So she's like reading it and whatever. I read my vows, and I'm having this intense moment with my fiance because we're not going to do vows at the wedding. This is like a real personal moment. So the vows are very personalized. They're like kind of inside baseball, inside stuff for us.
Yeah.
Right? So as I'm saying this, she's about to tear up, and I'm feeling all the emotions of a man who's about to be married to his best friend, his partner, soulmate. And I look in her eyes, and then I look over. 80-year-old Asian tourist taking photos.
They just wanted to be a part of the magic.
There was a woman as old as the Great Wall doing this.
She probably thought you were famous.
Dude, I'm not kidding you. I looked at her and did this. And she went like this. She was like,
You told her to scram with just your head.
I did an 80s bully scram. Hit the bricks. Dude, the power of a head tilt. Real, you can make
from a man in a suit,
dude.
Impossible to
you
ignore.
get a guy in a suit with a head cock tilt. You could part crowds. They should have that for riot control. When this
just a guy, just you in a suit going, cut it out.
I'm telling you see a bunch of guys just jumping on a cop car, lighting flares. I just walk in with a J.Crew suit, go like this. Like, wow, he did that all with a J.Crew suit, a J.Crew factory suit. Dude, she literally put her hands up like that.
Well, yeah, because I'm guessing that was a moment where she kind of didn't realize what she was doing until you pointed out, like, hey, man, we're kind of having a moment here.
Delightfully, fuck off is what that head tilt does. Dude, here's a question. What do you do with the footage?
Great question. What does she do with that?
What do you do with that?
She goes home and she shows her friends, hey, I saw a wedding.
She probably shows her grandchildren. Says, look what I saw. I saw 2 lesbians getting married at the top of the Griffith Observatory. I love America. 2 lesbians, 2 little lesbians, one smaller than the other.
If they can get married, why can't you?
Look at this. Little lesbians making life choices. It's like, scram, lady. So, all done. Ring on the finger, read the vows. Great time.
Okay.
Great time. So then I said to myself, we had a nice dinner after.
Where'd you go?
We went to Dunsmore in Eagle Rock. Very nice. Had the sea bass. Buddy, I would love to take you there. It's Mula Dinner. Maybe we should go on a double date one day. Ooh. And we'll leave the mics on the table.
Yeah.
Patreon
Everything is content.
Patreon episode. Anyway, so have a great night. Saturday comes around. I'm a married man. Woke up a married man. Woke up
a
with a
married man
ring
ring on both appendages.
So the next day, show at the Ice House.
Nice.
Now, for all you guys don't know, the Ice House, one hell of a comedy club.
I've heard. I was hearing they have great food and stuff too.
Did the main room, right? Got a ring on the finger. My mind is thinking like, oh, I got a joke where I said my girlfriend. I got to say my wife now.
Mm-hmm. You got to update.
Yeah.
You got to update a
like
lot of
I just
stuff.
got married. I got to update all the girlfriends to wives. You know, the wife, girlfriend, wife. Which I'm kind of like glad because at 43,
Saying girlfriend is...
it's a little bit like, you know, I'm not, hey, listen, unless you're a widow or a new divorced dude, girlfriends are cool. But if you're just a guy who's never made that choice, kind of a hard, people start asking questions like, you have roommates, don't you? How can you tell?
Yeah. Are we talking about me?
No. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I got a roommate and a girlfriend. Whatever.
So, did the show. Hats off to the team over at the Ice House. Phenomenal club. Great club. Always.
Shout out to the Bus family.
Shout out to the Bus family that renovated the green room for the main room. Dude, it looked. They have a two-way mirror. It's meant to look like the box for the GM of a team. I felt like a GM.
That's cool.
Just like this.
Wait, there's so you can watch into the showroom and nobody could.
No, dude,
it's your dream, Eddie.
My dream to look and never be judged.
Oh my God!
It's a staring wall.
You stared at so many people. If you were at the Ice House on Saturday, you got stared at.
The back of your head was in my brain. Look at that guy's fat head. And look at that woman's weird noggin. Look at that guy's ear.
Look at that guy's ear.
Anyway, so I go on stage. Great time.
Okay.
Audience electric. Did some new stuff. Did a new joke that I pulled from the pod.
Oh, nice.
I'll tell you later.
Yeah.
Did great. But out of the whole weekend, I forgot to mention, on Thursday, I did a show in Venice at Abbott Kinney. Also a great show.
Yeah.
Also so much fun. Out of everything that happened, I had a great show. I got married to the love of my life. I had another great show, did a new joke that worked. But out of everything that happened that weekend, the true highlight of that weekend, I think you can appreciate this.
I hope it's chicken wings.
It is.
No way! Yes!
To the chef at the Pasadena Ice House.
You telling me I got to get wings at the Ice House?
The baked wings. Baked. Not fried, baby.
Baked, but still crispy?
So good. They give you free food. I took it home, ate them. I was like, I gotta tell Brent.
They were that good even after you took them home?
Next time I'm there, you're coming.
Yeah.
Have some. I'll have food tickets. You're gonna have some. I'll have some. Meet the booker.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
It was better than me getting married. They were so good.
The wings were that
maybe
good.
I was on a high. I'm like, the new joke killed. I did well.
If you don't get married the day before, who knows? Do you consider these wings as good?
Yeah.
We'll never know.
And I don't want to know, but I don't know. Maybe I was on high on life. I don't know. But the wings.
I got to try these wings.
They're baked.
I got to try these wings.
Dude, a baked wing. What's better than a baked wing?
I mean,
done well.
I'd say a fried wing, but I hear you.
But it's guilt-free.
A guilt-free, yes. It's
a baked wing is a guilt-free wing.
A baked wing done right would be, if it's as good as a fried wing, then it's better. Okay. That's how that works.
Here's the difference maker. It's the crisp.
Yeah,
it's got to be crispy and tender on the inside. You have to have a special oven or something where it's I don't know. And I got lemon pepper. I was like, come on. The girlfriend could call me. The wife could call me and be like, I made a mistake, annulment. I'd be like, I could be knee deep in wings and be like, I got
these wings.
Whatever, man.
I'll propose to lemon pepper.
We took a risk.
Yeah.
Just let me see the dog in the weekends,
That's
dude,
that's
wings.
Fantastic. That's great to know.
Is there nothing better than having a great set and having good wings.
No, that's
after?
about as good as it gets as far as I'm concerned.
You know, if this podcast ever makes it big, and if you subscribe to the podcast and tell your friends, it might. That's gonna be on the rider. It was gonna be like, hey, what do you guys want in the live show?
We need lemon pepper wings.
Lemon pepper wings the moment we get off stage.
Baked, ideally.
But if you can't do baked,
If you can't do baked, we'll take fried.
that's fine. But you know, there might not be a meet and
Some
greet.
buffalo sauce.
Just saying, might let a
Just
lot of
saying.
people down.
Up to you.
So that happened, and I also got a new watch.
You got a new watch. Yes, you were telling me you were going to get this new
We'll
watch.
get into details later, but bought it. Said, "Fuck it, let's do it." I was high on the wings, high on the marriage, high on life.
Yeah.
So I had what a weekend.
What a weekend.
Great show. Married. Another great show. Wings. Watch.
That's a phenomenal weekend, my man.
Man. And this podcast, Monday.
Yeah.
So, you know, a way to top off a 4-day
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good.
So, what have you been up to?
Well, I did. So it sounds like you don't need vows. You've already completed that.
But I'm going to go back. When we get married on the 11th, we're having our first look. I don't know what any of this shit means.
Yeah.
Where they take photos and we exchange vows.
Okay.
I might switch them up because I did the vows on the first time. And I don't want anyone to think like, oh, Eddie gets married twice. What do you like, Doug Christie? You know Doug Christie, the basketball player?
He got married twice?
He marries his wife every year on their anniversary. He has a wedding every year on his anniversary. Did you know that?
I mean, that's kind of fun. I think that's kind of fun.
But it's just them two. It's not like...
Oh, they don't even invite people?
I think, yeah, they get married every year.
Well, what does that even mean? If they don't invite anyone, they just like stand and do vows again? You're saying it's his wife is like, you're going to look me in the eye and renew that agreement.
You love me. That's how he's tall. He's 6'6". Played for the Raptors. Anyway, so I take it that you got like some vows written for old Edmundo here.
Or maybe, you did say you might farm these out. So I thought I'd just provide.
Farm.
Yeah, I don't want you to have to go on
Outsource.
outsource. I don't want you to have to go on Fiverr to get vows.
But you know what? If I did outsource my vows, the way AI is taking over, like removing a lot of jobs from people, I mean, I'd be kind of like kind of like helping the economy.
Yeah, you really would.
Yeah.
If you give me $20 for these vows I already wrote for you, that's good for the economy.
I say this with all the love of my heart, but rotten hell.
Well, I guess maybe I'll read them and then you'll decide how much money you want to give me.
I gotta bring back rotten hell.
Rotten hell, that's a pretty good
That's
one.
a fun dad one.
Yeah.
There's certain phrases that dads would say when we were growing up. Maybe not my dad, because my dad didn't speak English well, but my white friends, and they had like, there's rotten hell. What's a good dad cuss word?
Rotten hell. I don't know.
Oh, take a hike.
Take a hike. That's a good one.
That's probably a good one that dads would say.
One of the things our dad one time yelled at us to make sure we were pushing our peckers down when we took a shit because
Wow.
somebody like peed through and all over the floor.
It's odd. Maybe it's a regional one. My dad didn't have a phrase that he would say, but my dad did love doing this to anyone that cut him off in traffic or anyone that was like mean to him or whatever. He would do. I think a lot of immigrant dads did this, and I need to remove the mic to do it. He would do this.
Oh yeah, that's a classic. That's one that I've only seen in movies and TV. I've never seen anyone do it sincerely.
I don't know what that means. Like
The old two-handed. I associate that with Italians. The old two-handed Italian up yours. Is kind of
I
what
think
I've
it's like
always-
an up your butt, or
Yeah.
like it also kind of means an uppercut. But if it's an up your butt, it's an aggressive up your
up
butt.
your buttercup.
I guess it has to be aggressive because if you went like this, hey
Yeah.
buddy, why don't you screw off?
Where's your prostate?
He's like, are you asking me to come to you or are you telling me to screw off? What are you doing with your little fingers? But my dad would do that one. I think your dad seems like the kind of guy that says, call someone a jerk or something.
Yeah, he would call somebody a jerk. He would one time we went to like the auto parts store and the guy behind the counter like recognized him and they chatted for a little while and he was like, you should come by the place. I'll give you tennis lessons. And my dad was like, yeah, all right, whatever. And then we got back in the truck and he goes, I'd kick that guy's ass at tennis.
Really? Did you think the guy was hitting on him?
No, he like knew him from.
Oh, that's another thing too. Dads would say like, calling somebody gay was always kind of like sleeps on the wrong side of the bed. If you know what I mean. Yeah. Likes his pickle dill, if you know what I mean. Like, what does that mean?
Dill?
What would be a nice dad phrase for gay? I don't know.
The little light in the loafers.
Light in the loafers, if you know what I mean.
I think he plays for the other team.
If you know what I mean. Yeah. Yeah. He figure skates, not ice skates. I don't know. That's something. Puts on his jeans 2 legs at a time, if you know what I mean.
You know what I'm saying?
Anyway. So give me my vows. What are these going to be like?
All right. So these are the vows.
By the way, I'm actually impressed with your writing abilities. Dare I say scared? Mm-hmm. From last episode, when you replied back to your retort back to our crazed fan, who I'm convinced puts a YouTube video in ChatGPT and says, write a synopsis of this episode as fan fiction. I'm pretty sure.
And if you know what, Lazarus, if you're using ChatGPT to do that, I'm going to stop reading them. I said it. If you're doing it, keep posting them because we need the comments.
Yeah.
We need the engagement. But if you're not writing those yourself, I'm not going to read them.
Or give our episode of Russian bot farms and let them harass us. I wouldn't mind that either. Whatever gets the algorithm going.
Yeah, whatever gets the algorithm going.
Yeah.
Do a ChatGPT review on Apple Podcasts. Sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
great.
But I'm not. If you're not writing them, I'm not reading them.
Yeah, okay.
That's the deal we're making. Okay, so let me know in the next comment. You sick freak. We love you.
So what are the vows?
Anyways, here's my vows. This is you. I imagine this would be at the wedding. It sounds like it may not go down like that, but you can still alter. Courtney. Webster's defines intercourse as physical sexual contact between individuals that involves the genitalia of at least one person. And I would define it as something I'm excited to try for the first time.
Oh my God.
But in all seriousness, I'll never forget the first time we met. You were at Civil Coffee Shop at a table by the window, the sun on your shoulders. From across the room, you shouted, "Can I help you?" Because I had been staring at you for 2 full uninterrupted minutes. I was too embarrassed to admit I was admiring the way your shirt draped and trying to remember what that fabric is called. Is it gabardine? So I said, I thought you were beautiful and asked to exchange Instagrams. I followed you. You followed me. And then you turned to the audience. At Eddie Delasepi. Follow to see clips from my podcast. Oh, hell yeah. And while you're there, find the link in bio to subscribe on YouTube. Hit that bell and get notifications when we drop new episodes. And then back to Courtney. Okay. And since that moment, I've been following you. I followed you home from the coffee shop at a discreet distance and watched you through the window from the bushes, falling in love more and more every day. Over the last 4 years, I've slowly but surely worn you down enough that now you'll publicly admit in front of your friends and family that you love me too, or at least that you tolerate me enough to become my legally bound roommate. You're the most beautiful person in every room you enter, even if my podcast co-host Brent is there, who is easily number 2 when you are around, usually number 1 when you're somewhere else. I promise to love you, grow with you, and do my best to learn how to finally pleasure you. I'll figure it out someday, I promise. You're my everything. I cherish you, and I'll never leave you unless you try to stop me from buying a motorcycle. So unless anyone objects, and then you stare at me and count to 10 in your head. Okay, no objections? Let's get married.
Wow.
So feel free to use that. You want me to send you that in like an email?
Yeah. I'd love that engraved in some wood if I could.
Yes.
2 things. It's astonishing that you do that with any aid of any kind of artificial intelligence, that you sit down in front of your computer and let that all free flow out of your mind. So grammatically and eloquently written.
Thank you.
Number 2, it is also astonishing that you have a girlfriend. Don't go make love to her, man. What are you writing this crap for?
She was at work today. She's busy.
I never thought I'd say this, but it'd be less creepy if you actually visited her work unannounced and writing my vows like this.
All right.
God, you scare me. You really do. But also at the same time, I'm so impressed.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's kind of like seeing like a serial killer who does a really good job. Like, yeah, it's gruesome, but you can't help but be like impressed by his love for the game. Yeah,
the Zodiac Killer came up with all those codes. Man. I mean, that had to be a lot of work.
Man, he's really put some thought into this. Good for you. I thought about this for my vows.
Yeah.
I thought about like saying like just a simple line and saying like a wise man once said that your partner is your shining light to guide you in the night, to keep you bright, to be you there forever. And that wise man was me. Kind of funny.
That is kind of funny. That is kind of funny. Wait, so if you're not doing vows at the wedding that I'm going to, what's the program look like?
I think she just reads a bunch of spiel things, and I kind of just nod my head.
Toasts and
Toast,
stuff.
yeah.
Who's giving toasts?
I don't know.
You guys haven't figured that out yet?
Nah, she has. I
Yeah,
don't listen.
okay, yeah.
I don't really listen. I would like to say this. I'd like to thank all my friends, family, and foes. Just look at one guy. That'd be kind of fun. To all my friends.
Just stare at her dad.
Friends, family, and foes who are here today to celebrate my love for this woman.
You've been praying for my downfall, but witness my greatest achievement.
I would like to also say thank you to everyone who attended and also to my enemies and my exes. You're going to rot in hell.
It'd be funny to send invitations to all your exes, but there's no option to RSVP. It's just letting you know.
To most of you, a bet has been settled. I'm not gay. You thought I was, but this proves I'm not. There's no such thing as a closeted married man.
It's never happened before.
Not, and it never will.
I have a mustache, not a beard.
Do I love the male frame? Of course. Do I look at other men staring longingly at their bodies? Maybe. Do I mask it with looking at their clothes and say I admire your outfit when I actually want to get in their outfit so I can hold them? Possibly.
Possibly, but look at this ring.
I made a commitment to a woman and God, who also created gay men as well. So you can't really hate for someone being gay.
Depending on who you ask.
Depending on who you ask. Oh, man. So now I will say when the wedding happens, I'll be kind of free flowing in. I'm like, I've already did the deed.
Yeah, you already did it. This is just a party, dude.
Already did the
This
deed.
is a freaking party, dude.
Yeah, it's going to be fun seeing all my friends there, all hanging out. Going to meet your lady there, which I can't wait to do. It's going to be great. So here's the thing. Being a married guy, one of your superpowers as a married man that you have over your friends is that if you cross me, at any moment, I'll just start making it guilting. I'll just start mentioning how you should be married by now to friends that are in relationships.
Okay.
So if a friend
I guess you have that forever now.
Yes.
Well, as long as the marriage lasts.
So
well, no, I think I get kind of forever because you at least made that decision.
Yeah. So if a friend owes me let's just say a friend owes me like $100 or something, or just is wrongs me in some way. If I ever come across him and his girlfriend, I'd be like, yeah, we're married, and I just knew she was the one. I wasn't afraid to pull the trigger on this one. I think that's what a real man does, is marries the woman he's with. Doesn't really lollygag or wait for her to ask, why aren't we married yet? You kind of just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
And if you owe somebody $100, you pay him back.
Yeah. You might as well. So are you guys going to get married? No, I wouldn't do that.
No.
But married guy now.
Married guy.
Sweet. Honeymoon.
Have you started planning that?
Honestly, she was kind of like, we should go like next. I don't know. Does anyone go to their honeymoon right after their wedding? Did they still do that?
I think most people go when. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people go kind of soon afterwards.
Right.
But I think nobody. Yeah, I think it used to be tradition to leave from the wedding to the honeymoon, but no, I don't think anybody does that anymore.
Yeah, I find it kind of weird. It's kind of hey, I'm gonna go straight to the airport. Is that what they do?
I think. Yeah,
and we just show up at the airport with a tuxedo on.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
weird?
Or you go back to the hotel room and change, and then.
Yeah, I guess you do.
I would hope you change. I hope you're not on the in coach. In a full wedding dress.
Yeah, a Spirit flight, full wedding dress, full tuxedo. Did you guys get married? Yeah, we did. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, it'll still be $9 for a bottle of water.
Yeah, I didn't have enough money to pay for my seatbelt, so I guess we'll have to share one.
Well, we're married now. We share everything: seatbelts, secrets, Wi-Fi passwords.
That's another thing too. Is that it's funny. It's no knowledge, right? That let's just say you were to tell me a very deep secret that you have.
Yeah.
And confidence as a friend. You know the written rule is, I tell my wife.
Yeah, the wife's gonna find out probably. Yeah.
Do I mention that to friends now? I mean, it's always been the rule.
I think it's assumed. I think if they don't factor that in, I think the calculation is if I trust you enough to tell you this secret and you trust this person enough to marry them by like transitive property, I trust that secret with her.
So what's the etiquette? Like, let's just say, being a married guy, you tell me a secret about yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. You know that I'm going to tell my wife.
Sure.
But is it wrong if you go, hey,
don't tell your wife?
No, not even that. Is it? What if? So if you say to me, this happened to me, I'm like, oh wow, you know that I'm going to tell my wife.
Yeah.
All right. The question is,
if it's interesting enough, I assume. You tell your wife, yeah.
Is it wrong if I like stop you and then call her and tell her? Like, guess who has herpes? He's right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's him crying. That's some child. Okay. I love you too. Okay. I know it's crazy. It's great. Break open the wine. We'll talk about them. These things clear up, man.
Yeah. It's not a death sentence.
Everyone's got it. Not me. I'm not
me and my wife.
I'm not a dirtbag, but. Oh,
good luck out there.
What was that sound?
I heard some sawing out there.
Yeah, neighbor. Yeah, maybe I didn't get that. But it's an unwritten rule. We tell our wives everything. You tell your girlfriend everything, do you?
Sure.
Unless it makes...
Not everything.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
We're not married,
No, you're not married. Yeah. I have to bring it up at the wedding. She's like, why did you say that? Like, it's like, come on, put a ring on that finger.
Yeah, that's his thing now. I don't know. He got married. He's going to lord it over us.
What if I went like this to you and your girlfriend at my wedding and go, buddy, marry her. Look she's hot. She's got a great rack, beautiful eyes, great legs. Marry her.
I think we'd leave. The wedding.
Come on, you're not going to marry her?
I'd say box up my cake.
She's a babe. Leaving. I mean, if I were you, I'd be putting a ring and put everything on that finger.
Oh my God.
Imagine, what would you do?
I would get my cake and leave.
No.
If you said nice rack, I'm out of there. I'm like honor bound to be like, no, don't talk to her like that. I don't care if it's your wedding. We're leaving.
Would you punch me in the stomach?
No.
But that'd be kind of funny to punch a guy in a tuxedo in the stomach.
It would be on his wedding day. God, that would be so... Give me a reason, Eddie.
No one is more... You know what's funny? Those guys that openly mention people's body parts and stuff like that are the same guy. You know those type of guys that are like, your wife's hot, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Those are the kind of guys that also talk about their wives or girlfriends in ways that is also very... objectifying. Mm-hmm. Like, wow, my wife's got great tits. Mm-hmm. Like, yeesh.
Yeah.
Those guys are always kind of
gross.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't really post about my relationship on Instagram because I'm always afraid that some troll is going to be like, why'd you marry him? Or I thought you were going to do this.
Yeah.
She's hot.
All the stuff I say when we're off pod.
Really? I'm excited to meet your girlfriend. She's anyone who's into this guy, I'm into them. This guy's salt of the earth.
She's excited to meet you. She's heard a lot about you.
Well, she can listen to the podcast, and she's like, I shouldn't go.
She's heard parts of it.
Has she really?
Yeah, she listened to she wanted to hear the erotic fan fiction that I wrote. And she says she's on your side. She says,
"Get a life."
She was like, "That's honestly, it's weird how well you did that."
Oh yeah, I will say this to your fine lady there: when the Valentine's card comes out, this guy,
it's gonna be nasty.
Like
dude.
Jesus Christ up to the Romans, he's gonna nail it.
Don't set the bar so high for me.
But you were a great writer.
Sure, yeah.
You can write. Actually,
it's easier to write stuff like this than to be sincere, you know?
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, pretend that you're writing my Valentine's Day card to my girlfriend, my wife, and then just the name.
Kind of mad lib.
It's like, why did you say thank you for looking past my height? And although I'm on my tippy toes to kiss you, did you write this for Eddie and repurpose it for me?
No. You're always wearing heels.
Is she tall?
Yeah.
Oh God, nothing's hotter than a hot, tall couple.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We were walking. We were outside the bowling alley in Koreatown, and a car driving by yelled, "You're a good-looking couple."
Really?
Yeah,
God.
it was pretty cool. Feels good. It did feel like there was something. Like it felt like, okay, the next thing he says is going to be bad,
Right.
and then he just kept going.
Yeah, no one does. We need more drive-by
Compliments.
Compliments.
Yeah,
You need someone to be like, "Hey, great hairline.
yeah.
It must be your kids will be very lucky." Hey,
Those shoes go great with that hat.
compliments to you or whoever suggested that outfit. Hey, I don't know you personally, but you walk with confidence.
Yeah,
I
you
can
have
only,
a confident gait.
I can only assume that you're a good person and you have a strong, good heart. Like, man, thanks.
Yeah.
We should do that. That should be a viral video. You just drive by and give compliments.
Let's do it.
Hey, buddy, nice head on your shoulders. You seem like the kind of guy who's a stand-up individual. It's like, oh, I thought that was going to be an insult.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well. What would kind of, it's funny. Like, I've never actually gotten a drive-by insult either.
I feel like it's possible.
I've gotten the finger.
It's possible I've had more drive-by compliments than insults.
I've gotten the finger.
I've had someone throw an egg at me.
Really?
Yeah.
Like,
It was like late. I was riding my bike.
when was this?
Probably 2008. I was riding my bike to my girlfriend's house late at night, and I was in Spokane, and I was riding. I was drunk, riding this bike, and I just like I sensed something was weird. This car was like slowing down a little bit, and I was like, "What the hell's going on?" And then I just felt an egg hit my back.
Wow.
And the car drove by, and I just didn't react at all. I just kept riding.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think that guy was that premeditated? Did he have?
I think there was kids just goofing around,
I thought
saw
it was
somebody.
I don't know why I assumed it was like just a man.
No, yeah, it was a 53-year-old guy. No, I assumed it was some teens, goofing around. And you know what? Great throw, buddy. You got me square in the middle of the back.
So what'd you do?
I just
Like, oh,
I just
fuck.
rode to because I think at the time, I think we were in a fight. And that's why I rode my bike over there.
Yeah.
And so I just had other things going on. And so I think I just hosed my jacket down because it was like a nice Gore-Tex jacket. So I just,
Oh, the Gore-Tex is fine.
yeah, it's just rinsed right off.
You weren't like
it was truly like no problem. And I didn't want to give them the satisfaction of reacting. So I straight ahead kept riding my bike. And then,
So I used to skateboard as a kid.
yeah.
Yeah, but I stopped because of the accident. It's always say accident.
Let's just say the accident.
Say the accident. Everyone assumes you're great at something that you can't prove. I used to be excellent at the piano, but
the accident.
the accident. Yeah. Well, I just would love to get back on the keys, but I can't.
But,
the
the
accident.
accident.
But assume they know what the accident is.
Yeah.
I remember I had this, I don't know why you kind of stir up this memory about me. I think, what was I? I think I was in a senior in high school and I was skateboarding at the time, but I wasn't any good. I was a legit poser.
Yeah. Did you kickflip?
I could kickflip a little bit.
Damn, dude, I'd never kickflipped. I never successfully flipped a kick.
I remember going to like a half pipe and being
An
like,
ollie.
ollie. I remember going to a half pipe for the first time thinking like, and like, I'm going to try to just jump in and going down and then just full on, like almost breaking my wrist.
Yeah.
And everyone's kind of like, ooh. And I was like, oh, I never
went back.
to that. I was
Yeah.
like, maybe I'm a street guy.
Yeah.
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 And I remember there was moments where I would like got my board and I'd go downtown and security guards would be like, get away. And this is before they kind of like escape proof a lot of like benches.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like they put the rails and put like stuff like put like little blocks to prevent that. So I remember this girl, I'm not gonna say her name, but I remember she dumped me one time. And then we just stopped talking, but I was like obsessed with her. Not obsessed with her, but I was like so into her. And I remember skateboarding to a house party that I knew she was at. I don't know why it kind of stirred my memory. I don't know why I thought you were like younger, but you were like what, 20 when this egg
20,
hit?
21, something like that. Yeah.
So I was like, I was like 19, 18. So I remember skateboarding to the house party, which wasn't far from my house. And the girl whose house it is, like, Eddie, what are you doing here? Like, I'm like, oh, just drop by, say hi. It's cool, great. Hold on a second. And the girl, my ex-girlfriend, was there. It's like, hey, she was like happy to see me. How are you? I'm great. How are you? It's like, great to see you. Thanks for coming. I'm like, no problem. Hold on a second. And dude, it was like out of a movie. I was in the hallway of this house, just kind of waiting around my board, got a hoodie on, headphones around you know what I'm talking about? The classic 90s skater kid. And I look, and she's like in the kitchen holding a beer, just laughing, joking around with everyone, a bunch of guys there. And it was like a Blink-182 like soundtrack in the back of my head going, and all I could think was like, oh, she's moved on. Where are you?
Where are you?
Dun, 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 dun. And I was just like, oh, I could just leave. She wouldn't even notice.
Oh my God.
And I did. And then I started skateboarding. And then I hit a rock. And I fell. And I grabbed my board and I threw it on the grass. I went, no! I screamed because I was so heartbroken. And if it was a movie, it would be like me, like, and it would pan out like that.
And it'd be raining.
It'd be raining. Dude, I'm not kidding. I threw my board on the grass and like, It felt great, though.
I hope somebody saw that.
Yeah.
I was just looking out their window and saw just this little guy
just
throwing
like
a skateboard.
Just like a house coat, be like, oh, little girl's upset out there. Don't shoot her. Dude, I don't know why I haven't thought about that in years. I don't know where that came from. I don't know why. Just you and the bike, just picturing you being innocent, being like, oh, an egg, my Gore-Tex jacket. Yeah. But me just like, Jennifer. I was always a loser, dude.
I don't know, man. You had a skateboard, you had headphones.
I was a poser.
Yeah.
You knew it. I was listening to Oasis. Yeah. It wasn't even skate music. I wasn't listening to punk. I wasn't listening to like Black Flag. Yeah, you're skateboarding.
You're just kicking around the skate park. Champagne supernova in the sky.
Stand by me. Nobody knows the way it used to be. Just like screaming in the night. Dude.
Yeah.
Imagine you drove by, you just saw some little boy
eat shit,
throw it, and just yell Jennifer.
That would make my day. That would be so funny. I would stop and I'd say, hey, I know this feels like it's everything. It's nothing.
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah. Hold on to that, and then I drive away.
Imagine I threw the skateboard. Jennifer, you drive by. At the time, let's just say you're an older guy in Alter Reality where you're the age you're at. What do you say to me? Do you say, are you okay? Or what do you say?
I honestly probably don't do anything. I probably just...
But if you had to say something...
if I had to say something, I'd be like, are you okay? Well, first of all, are you okay? Do you need help?
And then I'd be like, I'm not gay, man. My girlfriend's at that house party. I'm not going to touch your dong.
And I'd go, girlfriend? You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
Just listen to Radiohead. That's the thing. I was skateboarding and listening to Oasis. And my friends, it's not very skatery.
It's really not.
No.
One time I was skateboarding home from work as an adult, like as like a 25, 26-year-old. I was skateboarding home from work.
Longboard? No, you're like
this was a longboard. See,
longboard guys got away with a lot because you're point A to point B. If you're a skateboarder, it's for tricks only. Yeah. And after the age of 20, if you're not good at this, get out.
You gotta stop. And I'm saying this as someone who took up skateboarding again at 35.
Are you?
You gotta stop. Yeah, dude. That was during the pandemic.
Okay, good.
I was skating every day because, like, what else did I have to do?
If you took up skateboarding, like, no, this is 2023.
I don't know. I was back at work. I made time. I carved time out of my schedule so that I could try to learn how to grind again.
Honestly, it's really digging into my responsibilities. Yeah. I've got a lot to do.
I got fired. But skate or die, you know?
Yeah, kick flip at work. Okay, whatever. You can't hold me down.
But I was longboarding home from work, and I was never like, I didn't longboard enough to like really be good at getting from point A to point B, but I was coming home I didn't know, I wasn't great at slowing down.
Right.
And I was going home and I was coming down this hill and I was just going too fast, and I saw a cross street in front of me and I was like, I got to try to slow down, and I tried and I ate shit.
Wow.
And I flipped like over my board and landed on my back in the middle of the street, and I was just laying there for a second like,
Oh my God.
and then I just heard from like a house away, "Are you okay?"
Oh no.
And I was like, yep, I'm fine. Everything's fine. Just like got up and like limped away. But yeah.
Dude, to every young man that's took up skateboarding, there's a moment when you realize I can't do that. It's kind of like that scene in Moneyball where it's like everyone's told they can't be a pro.
Yeah.
Either you're told at 18 or you're told at 40.
Yeah.
You can't do
can't
this.
do it anymore.
You can't play the game anymore. There's a moment in every young man's life with like, not every man's, but a lot of us.
A lot of it, a lot of us with aspirations to be cool skater kids.
Yeah, we took
which was
up
a lot of us.
A lot of us wanted to be cool, wanted to be rebellious. We took up skateboarding, and then we're like, I'm gonna skate. And then there's
This is my life now.
This is my life now. This is my subculture. These are my people. I'm gonna wear DC shoes.
I'm gonna go to PacSun.
I'm gonna have a baggy like plaid shirt.
I'm gonna
or
get in fights with cops.
I'm gonna have a blink board.
My parents will not understand.
No, I'm just gonna put on my headphones and skate away, skate or die.
Skate or die, dude.
And then there's a moment when you like kickflip, you hit your knee or sprain your ankle, and you're lying down on some grass, and you say to yourself, I'm in my mid-20s. This is never going to happen.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
I will never financially recover from this injury.
We all have that moment where we're just like, no, I can't do this.
No, I can't do this anymore.
And there's such a small sliver of guys that can actually pull that off into your 30s and 40s skating.
Yeah. And those guys get hurt all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Because I think that's part of it is you just have to learn how to like come back after you stay motivated after you like break your ankle.
Skateboarding is like,
No way, dude.
And don't get me wrong, skate culture has influenced music, especially fashion.
Mm-hmm.
You look at guys like Sk8r Rocky and stuff like that. They're all mimicking a lot of '90s skate culture in
Mm-hmm.
their clothing. But you ever meet like a guy who's like 45 and he's a skater,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not slagging these dudes, but they're like, I remember one guy, he was like, yeah, I got tore my meniscus, tore my knee, cracked my kneecap, fucked up my wrist. I got 3 pins on my wrist. I got a bar on my arm. And just like, yeah, if it's too cold, my foot swells up because I've got too many rods in there. I'm just like, and what do you do? It's like, I work part-time at this coffee shop. I'm like, dude, if you have that many pins and rods in your arm, you better be a professional athlete with millions of dollars in the bank.
Yeah.
That's a hard life.
Or a gold medal.
Or a gold medal. Yeah, I don't know. What time are we at? Ooh, anything? Oh, you got any bits you want to bring up quickly?
Did you? I don't think I don't know. Let me look.
Okay,
real
so
quick,
I did
but
this.
don't think
I
have
did this
any
good
bits.
old bit at. I did this good old bit at the Ice House.
Tell me about this good old bit.
And it actually came from this podcast. Actually, a full-on bit from this podcast.
Yeah.
Where I was saying, basically the bit goes, Gen Z, I can't keep up with the phrases anymore, that slang anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, it's a brat summer. Like, I don't know what that means. I don't know what's happening. I remember someone said to me, is it going to be a brat summer? Like, okay, is it going to be like a butchy winter? I don't really know. Like, I don't know what's happening. So this came from the podcast. I'm going to, instead of catching up with what kids are saying, I'm going to bring back stuff that no one says anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like porking.
Like porking. Porking made it to the stage?
I said, I'm going to bring back porking. Right? I mean, you thought that word died with a bunch of dads in the 70s. I'm bringing it back right now. And this is what I said on stage. I go, and I want it said casually. I don't want the men to say. I want the women to bring it back. I want a bunch of women sitting around having coffee, being like, so me and Robert are trying to have a child. So naturally, we're porking. Big laugh. Yes. I was like, ooh.
Yes. You said, can this day get any better? You had no idea what
Closed
was coming.
on it.
Closed with it.
Oh, yeah. So then I was talking to the wife, and I was like, what do you think? As soon as she hates my act, she hates what I do. She thinks I should get a new job. But
That was her vows. I hate your job. I hate your act. I wish you'd get a new job, but okay.
But I love you who you are.
Yeah.
But she said it'd be funny if a girl also says it like she's like comes back to her friend, a Sex and City moment, a bunch of mimosas the day after a Saturday, and like, what'd you do last night? Well, took him home and we porked all night, and it turned into a roast. It's kind of funny, pork roast.
Yeah, pork
roast.
That's
kind of funny, right? That's kind of funny.
It's kind of funny.
And then I implore. Then I thought about this for a tag. Like, I implore everybody in this audience to bring porking back, unless you're Orthodox or Muslim. But aside from that, I don't want any beef. Feel free to use it. Now, I'm going to do this on Wednesday. It'll bomb terribly, and I'll yell out your name at the end.
I can't wait to see
like that girl who broke my heart. And
Jennifer! You'll skateboard off the stage immediately.
These indie trucks can't guide me to your heart. So that did that. That worked.
That sounds.
So we'll try
yeah,
it. We'll try it again. We'll try it again. We'll see.
Again.
But people did laugh at the phrase porking. Yeah. Everyone laughed collectively. We're
just
like,
just when you just at the premise,
because you know what it is. Because when I said I'm going to bring the word, so I actually asked people in the audience, give me a slang for intercourse with a woman. One guy goes slam. One guy goes, oh, you nailed. I'm like, cool. I'm afraid I'm not going to do that because I'm afraid that if I do that, someone will say porking. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to be like, I don't know what the kids are saying these days for hooking up with each other, but I'm going to bring this back. I'm going to bring porking back. And as soon as I said porking to the audience, they all laughed because it is ridiculous.
It is.
But the juxtaposition of a woman saying porking,
that's even better because they'll never.
Yeah. And I thought about this for a tag too. I said this on the podcast. I want it to reach the medical community. Mm-hmm. I want like a couples therapist to sit people down and be like, so how often are you porking?
Yes.
If you're porking if you're porking less than once a week, you're gonna have to up that porking.
Yeah, we're gonna get these porking numbers up.
Anyway, so I think it's there.
Yeah,
it worked in the pod. You laughed. We laughed. We had a good time.
I had a great time.
Okay. Any bits? Anything you're working on?
I don't think I have anything.
Even a premise? You gotta have some.
Did I have a premise? Well, this is a small premise, but I don't like it when I see old people smoking because it makes me feel like I can. Like anytime I see someone older than me smoking, I'm like, see, he's still alive.
Yeah.
I could be like him. He's like 44, but he looks 89. And I'm like, I could be him one day.
You could be him one day. Grossly unhealthy.
Yeah. I could be that guy, barely hanging on.
You know what? Maybe that's the thing. That's the joke is that you miss smoking so much that when you see someone older smoking,
it makes me mad.
It not makes you mad. It makes you hopeful.
Yeah.
Even if their life is falling apart.
Still.
So you'd be like, hey, look, he's 80. He's smoking. Why can't I smoke? And then he tells you like, oh, I every morning I cough up blood. And like, that's fine.
Yeah, every morning.
These are consistent.
Yeah.
How much do you miss smoking?
A lot.
Yeah.
It's great.
You gonna smoke at my wedding?
No. Well, maybe. I don't know.
What if there's a
cigarette bar?
A cigar bar.
Cigar bar, for sure.
I think cigars can kind of like.
Is there a cigar bar?
No.
Why bring it up?
I know. But if there was one, the only reason that there's not a cigar bar at my wedding is because the moment I try a cigar, everyone will laugh at me.
You would. Well, we'd put a little Castro hat on you, and you'd look like the dictator of the wedding. You know what would be a funny bit for your wedding that is only going to make sense? We haven't told the story on the podcast, have we, about how your father-in-law bought a watch off a guy in New York who opened his jacket and he had a bunch of watches? I was thinking it'd be funny if I bought a bunch of fake watches and then showed up to the wedding and was like, Jim, you want to buy a watch?
Well, it goes well with that suit. Yeah. Come on, buy a Rolflex.
Yeah.
A Rolflex. What was I going to say? Oh, for smoking. Maybe you could talk about like flicking a cigarette.
Flicking it? What do you mean?
You used to flick a cigarette, right?
No.
But there is something about really bad about
it's really satisfying to flick a cigarette. That's a good feeling.
That's a good feeling.
Then it started feeling guilty about it because for a long time you don't think about it. You're just like, whatever, I'll flick a cigarette. And then one day you realize, oh, that's littering.
That is littering.
And I would never litter anything else, but I would just flick cigarettes.
It's the only addiction that you can flick that looks cool.
Yeah, I can't flick my heroin needle. I flick a heroin needle, people are calling the cops.
Just flick a crack pipe. Smash. What time were we at? Oh, I had a good time. Did you have a good time?
Had a great time.
Do you have anything to plug real quick off the top?
Sports, October 20th, Sunday, Atwater Village, Nico's. It's going to be sick, dude.
Great show. I've done it before. Fun spot. Great gals. Pretty people at that spot.
Pretty people at that spot.
I said off the top. I meant at the back end. October 25th, San Diego. Mic Drop Comedy Club. I'll be there. Brent will be there. My buddy Jeff will be there as well. Funny guy as well. If you're in San Diego, come to the show. Tell a friend. It's gonna be at the Mic Drop Comedy Club. We're there for one night only. You're going to see us. The Oh Hell Boys are going to be there. Oh Hell Yeah Boys will be there. Also,
that's October 26th?
October 25th. October 25th. Sorry about that. Also, every Wednesday at Totally Comedy Show at Bar Lubitsch. I might be doing a show in Toronto, December 21st, sorry.
On Christmas.
No, on December 21st, sorry. And we'll be in Arizona at the end of January. I don't know the date of that.
I want to say January 30th.
January 30th sounds about right. Let me see. January 30th. Is that a Thursday?
Yes. January 30th. Mic Drop Mania.
No, it is a 30th. Yes. We'll be a Mic Drop in Arizona, in Phoenix, Chandler, Arizona to be exact, January 30th. So once again, October 25th, San Diego. Be there. Me and Brent. January 30th, Chandler, Arizona, basically a suburb of Phoenix. Be there. Me and Brent will be there as well. It's going to be fun. Give us a chicken wing rec.
Ooh, baby.
Tell us.
Send in your Phoenix chicken wing recommendations.
Please.